Greetings, viewers. I'm VK Koza from Ehlanzeni TVET College, based at the Mlumati campus, under the program Office Administration. Today I will be assisting you with New Venture Creation Level 3. Under New Venture Creation Level 3, we have 4 topics. The first topic is identify internal and external stakeholders. The second topic is the selected structure of a workplace or organization. The third structure is the basic HR principle. Then the fourth structure is implementing business plan and operating system. For today, we're going to be looking at the selected structure of an organization, which is going to be topic 2. The first thing that we find under the selected structure of an organization, it is the core business activities of an organization. Let's first start by looking at the concept core business. When looking at the concept core business, let's start with the word core, so that we shall have an understanding what are we talking about when talking about the core business. The word core simply means something that is in the center. The center of any object is usually what ushers the objects and keep the objects together. And in most cases, that object that is in the center is normally nice. For example, let us look at a lemon cream biscuit. It has got the biscuit on top, another biscuit underneath, then in the middle there is that cream, which keeps the individual flavor of the biscuit. The flavor is not on the biscuit on top and the one on bottom, but it's on the center. Then this is what we call core. And this cream, it is the one that keeps these two objects together. Now, in other words, the core business is what the business offers to its customers, and which is the source of income for the business. As an organization, what provides to its customers? For example, TVET, it's education. That is the core of TVET colleges, and it provided to its customers who are what? Who are students. We have made an example that TVET colleges, their core business is education and training, not other things. Now, what then are the core business activities? Because the first thing that we have, we've got the core, which is the what? The central part of an organization. Then the business, it is the running of that organization. Then on this core business, then we have what we call a core business activities, which are the things that takes place each and every day, the activities that takes place each and every day. From the core business, we said then we look at the core business activities. As we have mentioned with TVET colleges, saying the core business of TVET colleges is education and training. Let's look at their activities then. Their activities are, the first one is the lecturers prepare the lesson and lecture it to the students. That is their activity, their day activity. The second one, they prepare the lessons as the lecturers. The third one, there is questioning by the students. and there is answering by the lecturers. We've got so many core business activities within a college because remember, after the lessons and the questioning and the answers, the lecturer prepares the task or an assessment for the students. Then the students then write the assessment. Then the lecturer marks the assessment. The lecturer provides the results back to the student. Then after that, there is an activity of giving each other corrections. Now, for the core business to run smoothly, or the core business activities to run smoothly, the business needs supporting function. Remember we spoke earlier, or we spoke about stakeholders, where we said, as a college, we need students, and we also must have supporting staff. Then we need support so that the core business of the college can run smoothly. The word support, it simply means holding up or sustaining something. Let's set an example with a house that is falling. Here's the house. It's already starting to fall. Then they can put something here to sustain it not to fall. Or when we go around, there are poles of electricity. Normally you find another one. It's trying to hold this up or sustain it not to fall. Then that is what we call support. But in an organization, we aren't going to find such things. Then we need other functions that's going to assist the organization to achieve its core business. So the supporting function of an organization must hold up and help the core business to be more effective. Supporting function of an organization will differ according to the organization and their part of system. Remember here, we're not only going to be talking, we're not talking about TVET colleges. There are some other businesses within the country. So the supporting function of TVET college is not the same supporting function of a supermarket, is not the same function of a garage. So it differs according to the organization. But let's look at what is a system. As we said, the supporting function, it differs according to a system. When we talk in terms of a system, we are referring to the inputs within an organization. An input within an organization, remember, it differs. Now, when we look at TVET colleges, inputs in TVET colleges is going to be the students in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of a trimester, or in the beginning of a semester. An input in making sugar is going to be the sugar cane. An input in making bread or baking a bread is going to be flour, the rama, and other things, which is going to be the raw material. For now, let's say students are raw materials or they are inputs. Why make me to say they are raw material? They came to the college without full knowledge. Then, from this input, then here comes the process. A process at TVET college is teaching and learning. The daily activities that are happening within the college. At the end of the year, then we have the output, which are the results. If you are baking a bread, then your output is going to be a bread. After that, we then have to give a feedback. Why are we providing a feedback? The aim of a feedback is to look at the input that we used when we started, before we started the process. So if there is a problem on the input, then we have to change the inputs. If there are some other things that need to add on the input, then we're going to add the input. Again, let's go back, making an example on a bread or baking some cakes. If at the end the cakes, they will be out of sugar, or when you eat them, they are tasteless without sugar, then it means now when they give the feedback, they say the cakes were nice, but there was a shortage of sugar. Then on the input, then they're going to now add another sugar or more sugar. Now, every activity which takes place within an organization, it's a system. And this system that we are talking about, they interact with one another. How do they interact? We look at it. Now, when we were saying there is an input, and secondly, there is the process. And lastly, there is an output. The process cannot perform its duties without the inputs. Same applies to the output. We can't get the results without the input and without the process. It interacts with one another. Then every system has a role to play within the organization. And each system has value. So in other words, inputs are important. Process is important for us to get the output. If one system fails, the whole organization could have a negative impact, which simply means that systems need one another. If this process fails, it therefore means the organization is going to fall because we won't get the output. Now, meaning the selected function, which is in support of the core function, also need other functions within an organization for it to perform its job. Now, let's look at the main functions or section within an organization. The first function that we have is the human resource function. The main aim of a human resource function within an organization is to manage all activities concerning employees in the enterprise and also formulate policies regarding employees. How do they manage employees within an organization? They make sure that employees report on duty on time. They make sure that employees receive their salaries and also their benefits. They make sure that they manage employees in terms of leaves, and even when the employees want to terminate their services, it is the duty of the HR policy, the HR department to look at that section. The second function is going to be the purchasing function. The purchasing function, its duty is to handle the procuring and making raw material available and other equipment. For the organization to run, we say it needs the input. Then who buys the inputs or the raw material? It is the purchasing function. For the organization to do the processing part, it needs equipment. Then it is the purchasing function that purchases this equipment. Another function, it is the production function, which deals with the creation of goods and services, which they are found under process. Then these people are the ones that create the goods and also the services. Then we also have the administration function. Their main function as administration function deals with all matters concerning the collection and storage of information. How do they collect it? They are the one that receives documents And again, they are the ones who files the information for the organization. And we also have the marketing function, which concentrates on making money for the enterprise by doing market research to find out what our customers' needs. Then they go out to the communities to determine what customers need. Then they come back and inform the organization. Then the organization then plans to produce that product. Another function that we have in supporting of the core business, it is the financial function, which simply deals with obtaining money to operate the enterprise and allocate and control of capital. Remember, the main aim of starting this business, it was to make profit. Then we need this department to manage our finances so that we won't be in shortfall. Another function that we have is the public relations function. This one deals with ongoing communication between the enterprise and its stakeholders. How do they communicate? If there is anything that they need to inform the community, then the public relation, it is their duty to do that. Then this function forms an organogram of an organization. And they should interact with each other for the success of the organization. If one function fails, then the whole organization, it shall fail. So they need to interact with one another. Now, let's look at the example. Going back, we look at Well-Seated, which is an organization. Mizana owns a chair manufacturing business. She acquired the business from a talented carpenter. The carpenter used to design a red seat for KFC. The business was not doing well. So Mizana took it over and leased the place. Well-Seated has provided seats for high-profile events like Devon July and also the surrounding community. She employed an assistant manager, who is Sipho, who supervises all the factory staff. 2 carpenters, John and George. Administration clerk, Lydia, and also a cleaner, Beauty, who reports directly to Sipho, the manager. The first question that we have, draw up an organogram for Well-Seated business. Now, when drawing the organogram for Well-Seated business, the first person is going to be the owner, Mizana. Now, let's draw the organogram. It's going to be the owner of the organization. When drawing with an organogram, we start on top. It can be the manager if it starts from the manager, but if the organization starts from the owner, you start it from the owner. Then underneath the owner, who is the owner, remember we say is Mizana. Underneath the owner, then we have the assistant manager. The assistant manager, who is Sipho. Under the assistant manager then, there are 3 people who report to Sipho. Who are the admin, as well as the carpenters. Then there is the last person, who is a cleaner. then that one is going to be alone. Then this is how we draw up an organogram. We need to start it from on top, who is the owner, the assistant manager, the admin, the carpenter, then the last person is going to be the cleaner. Why do we put these two people on the same position? It's because they are in the same position and report to this one. Then this cleaner is under these two people, but this one does not report to these two, but report direct to SIPO. If we were talking about channels of communication, we were going to say the cleaner reports straight to the assistant manager. The admin and the carpenter report straight to the assistant manager. Then the assistant manager reports straight to the owner of the organization. The second question is, how Mizana can utilize the assistant of a marketing department as she is planning to employ one. Remember, currently the organization does not have a marketing manager. The first utilization that she can have, an assistant manager or the marketing manager, it identifies potential clients. The secondly, they communicate regularly with existing and potential clients of an organization. The third one, selling the organization's product or service to existing and new clients. These are the people who go out and sell the products. Provide relevant information to other departments within the organization. Then that is how she can utilize the assistant of a marketing manager or marketing department. So she needs to employ this person so that her business can grow. Another question, what are the main functions of the administration clerk? Remember, we have took this example from a previous question paper. Now let's look at the functions of an administration clerk. The first thing that she does, she greets and directs guests. Remember, we say an admin clerk, it is the face of an organization. She is the one who greets and directs the guest. The second, it's answering the phone inquiries. The third one is handling requests in a professional manner. The fourth one, keeping track of inventory. The fifth one is maintaining files with confidential information. And the last one, operate and maintain office machines. Mizana now, she's planning to employ the HR manager and explain to her how does the HR and the administration department can interact with one another. Now, the first thing, during recruitment process, the HR, which is the human resource department, creates an advertisement and the administrative department will contact the newspaper. Secondly, the admin also receive the applications. Thirdly, they also transfer calls from the applicants to the human resource department for any inquiries. They submit the application to the HR before closing day. So they work as a team within an organization. Another question is, she also encouraged teams work in the organization. List the characteristics of a team. The first one, when working on a team, you have a common goal to achieve. Secondly, members of a team, they interact or communicate with one another. The third one, members are aware of one another's needs whenever we are within an organization. Activities of a team are directed by the guidelines. The team will have a leader. They will handle conflicts in a constructive way, and the team functions system with input, throughput, and the output. Now let's do a recap. Today, we were talking about the core business of an organization, which is the central part of the organization and which keeps two objects together. Then we also looked at the core business activities, which are the activities that takes place each and every day. We looked at the functions of an organization, which we were talking about the human resource function, administration function, finance function, and other functions. We also looked at how to draft an organogram within an organization. That's it for today. For more information, you can find us at our website, which is ehlanzenicollege.co.za, or on Facebook, which is Ehlanzeni TVET College, on Twitter, at Ehlanzeni TVET College, on YouTube, Ehlanzeni TVET College. Thank you very much.